Everyone, what's up? It's me again, Monster 3. Not once again, but first of all, I must apologize for the really bad lighting in here. That might be a little bit hard to see, but I'm gonna do this as good as I can at the moment. So yeah, this is going to be an update video with a couple of titles which I received quite recently. I know I had already made an update video before this video or before I record this video. But unfortunately, for some reason, I sort of forgot about that video. So that video is like an old update video, but I haven't uploaded it on YouTube yet. So yeah, another updated video is probably going to come up here any day as well. So yeah, and hopefully I'll get to like a top 10 list or something else as well, just to get a little bit variety in my channel or like my content. So yeah. Anyway, now I'm just talking bullshit. Now I'm going to talk about the movies that I picked up recently. So yeah, first up we have a film from the 70s called Devil Dog, Hound of Hell. I believe I had another like Hound of Hell type of movie before, which was called, one was called Dogs, and then there was another one called Sultan the Hound of Dracula or something, but I have not seen any of those yet. But yeah, this one is a movie I've always wanted to see because, okay, it's sort of because of the cover art and also because it is from the late 70s. And this is released by Shriek Show, and I really enjoy Shriek Show's releases in general. So yeah, Devil Dog, Hound of Hell. Then we have another film which is, I've heard is supposed to be a little bit underrated. I don't really know if that's true or not until I've seen it myself. But I'm sort of a sucker for some of those creature feature type of movies in general, so I thought, why the hell not give it a chance? So I picked up Larva. This cover art is really amazing in my opinion. Like this guy with a bunch of like worms and a lot of things like in his face. Yeah, really looking forward to see this one. And yeah, like I mentioned, I really love those creature or like animal attack movies in general. So yeah, Larva. Then we have a film which I basically picked up just because of the Code Red label, because I am a collector of those releases, like Code Red releases in general. So that's the reason why I picked this one up, because I've only heard really bad things about this film. But like I mentioned, the only reason why I picked it up was because it was Code Red that released it, and Code Red releases I sort of collect those because they seem to get like out of print really fast. So yeah, Mardi Gras Massacre. Looks like some sleazy fun. Can be good, can be bad. I've only heard bad things about it, so I'm going in with like zero expectations on this, or like no expectation whatsoever. Can be a fun, like so bad it's good type of movie. You never know, but yeah, Mardi Gras Massacre. I've been told this is like a, is this like a 70s film? I believe. Yeah, 78. At least according to the back of this DVD. 70s slasher, I believe. So yeah, Mardi Gras Massacre. Then this one I picked up because I heard from the seller that this, or like the seller, in the seller's description when I bought this, he said that this was really hard to come across or like out of print. So that was one of the reasons why I picked it up, because some of those older movies, when they get like out of print, they tend to be really hard to come across. So that's another reason why I collect like older movies in general. Some of these movies you can never like get a hold of afterwards, or at least it feels like it. But these are two Spanish horror films, like in a double pack. Here we have them. Crypt of Terror release or whatever. I'm not really sure if that's the company that's brought these movies out, but Cemetery of Terror and Grave Robbers. I also have another film called Grave Robbers, which came out in the, I believe in the same year as this one, so that's a little bit confusing. But I believe that's an American movie. So yeah, but I really love these like zombie films from the 80s and 70s as well. So yeah, Cemetery of Terror and Grave Robbers. Then we have an exploitation film, or like an Australian film, called Fair Game. Some sort of revenge tale. Like this woman, I've been told, is like, I think she's like getting raped or like assaulted or something by like a couple of creeps, and her mission is basically just to hunt down these rapists and kill them off or something. So your typical revenge tale, rape and revenge movie probably. Not sure if it's gonna be as good as I Spit in Her Grave, Lost House on the Left, and all those other rape and revenge films from the 70s. But yeah, this one came out in, yeah, for some reason it doesn't say here on the back, but I believe this came out in the mid 80s. Can't be so wrong about that, but yeah, really like those revenge films in general. So yeah, this is gonna be a blast to finally check out. So yeah, fair game. Then we have a film which I basically picked it up because of the title of the film alone, and also because it's from the 70s, and I'm a sucker for some of those older films, but which deals with this subject matter. An early 70s film, and it's about like a devil worshipping type of deal, or like Satanists or something, but Satan's School for Girls. This cover art is, some people would say it's boring, some probably would say it's a little bit cool or unique, but yeah, early 70s, like sleaze probably. The 70s had a bunch of these like devil cult or like devil worshipping movies in general, so some of them are really sleazy and some of them are just really interesting to watch, in my opinion. So yeah, Satan's School for Girls. Then we have a film which I've heard is supposed to be better than Necromantic, because it shares some similarities with Necromantic, or at least I've been told that. So, but this one came out way before Necromantic. Necromantic came out in 87, I believe, and this one came out in the early 70s. And the movie is called Love Me Deadly. Look at that cover art. I really like that cover art. And this is another one of those Shriek Show releases, I believe. Or at least in here on the back, it actually has the Shriek Show logo and the Code Red logo. Okay, now it's really bad lighting in here, so you can't see for shit. But yeah, Love Me Deadly. Also probably some sleazy fun. Then we have a film by Enzo G. Castellari. He's known for so many of those like action films from the 70s and 80s and all of that. I think he's probably most famous for Inglourious Basterds and the Bronx Warriors, or like the Bronx Trilogy, or I think it's called the Bronx Trilogy or something. But which I unfortunately still haven't seen, that trilogy. So yeah, really looking forward to see that as well. I still have that box set. Now enough about that. This movie is called The Heroine Busters. From the late 70s. Well, there's a bunch of these 70s films in this update. I just recently discovered that. So yeah, Heroine Busters, released by Blue Underground. Then we have a film which I had in a really like, I think it was a really like old crappy release. I believe this is like a newer release. I can be so wrong about that, but the movie is called The Dark Power. I've heard this is some really stupid, funny movie from the late 80s, so that's the reason why I picked it up. And yeah, for some damn reason I still haven't watched the old release I had before. I checked the disc and everything to see just if everything was okay, and I saw that the picture quality wasn't the greatest. I'm not expecting this to be any better, but I just love the cover art much better than the old release. So yeah, The Dark Power. And then we have, oh my god, I've almost talked for 10 minutes. Now I'm gonna speed up a little bit. Well, still it's only 2 titles left in this update video, but this next film is actually a film that I've already seen before, and I believe I also had this in another release. I think it was some weird Dutch release or something, but yeah, wanted to pick this one up because this cover art is really cool in my opinion. And the movie is called Treasure of the Amazon. This is a great jungle adventure horror type of deal. I would say it's more of like an adventure movie than like a straightforward like action movie or something like that. But I really love this quote here on the where did I see that quote? Yeah, one of the best Indiana Jones knockoff films seen. So yeah, I remember that the ending to this was really hilarious, and it has some killings involving crabs. So yeah, Treasure of the Amazon. Then the last movie for this update is a movie with Klaus Kinski, and the movie is called Death Smiled at Murder. I've heard this is a really hard movie to come across. Damn, the lighting is really terrible. Now, I haven't really looked into the camera that much in this update because I want to give you some information about the movies themselves. So now I figured out that the lighting here is really terrible, but enough about that. Now let's talk about the movie. Yeah, like I said, I've heard this is a title which is pretty hard to come across. This is actually a Dutch release, but I was really lucky to find out that this movie has English language. So yeah, that's always something, because I believe this is originally shot in Italian, I believe. Can be so wrong, but yeah. At least according to this DVD, it also is strong uncut version, so that's always a positive. So yeah, Death Smiled at Murder. Now, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed and didn't get bored, and I hope to see you again as soon as possible. So see you next time. Bye bye.